everyone. I am just wanting to come to you guys and share a little bit about myself and where I come from before I became a Beachbody coach and everything changed for me. So I am trying to slow down on my videos, just talk from my heart and not make it feel like it's a script, because it's not. It's just my life, and I want people to be able to connect with me. I want people to know the real me and how they maybe perceive me online, or maybe you don't know my story and you don't know where I come from, and so I just want to share it. I want to be real. I want you guys to see all of it, all of everything that I've had to overcome to get to where I am today. My life, I'm so overly blessed that it is where it's at right now, even though I still constantly battle through moments of struggle and overcoming just crazy thoughts that might come up in my head. But I want to go back to when I first had Sage and where it kind of all stemmed from. I feel like even though it was one of the best moments of my life, it was also a really, really low new point in my entire life. I had no clue who I was after becoming a mom for the first time at such a young age. I love my family to death, but we are not that close in location, and so it made it really hard for me to feel like I was connected with anyone. And after having your first child, it really is, it's hard. It's hard to know who you are, what you're supposed to be like. You have this new body now that you're having to deal with because you just gave birth to a beautiful blessing, but during the process, things changed so much. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I never wanted to hang out with friends. I didn't even want to put myself out there with some of my closest friends because it created this anxiety and uncomfortableness in my own clothing and skin, and I didn't even know how to act at one point. And I know it's not acting, it's being real, but I just didn't feel like I was me, and I didn't know why that was. And I hadn't found my own information on postpartum depression because I was really just scared of letting my pride go and accepting that is what I was going through. So I really tried to deal with it on my own, and it's a really scary thing to do, to not know if you're normal, if you're not, because of this issue. So I just continue to try my best and stay connected online and hang on for dear life. I worked a full-time job. I supported our son going to daycare with my fiance and just having really busy lives. So I found every excuse in the book not to ever work out because I just didn't feel like it. I was tired, I was overstressed, and I just didn't want to do it. So I didn't. And then when I got pregnant with Addison, things kind of started shifting because I knew I didn't want a really unhealthy pregnancy. I had dealt with gestational diabetes with my son on my first pregnancy, and that made me break into tears because I didn't know why. I had to deal with that and go through some of those issues. But with Addison, I knew I wanted to try and be healthier. I wanted to try and feel better, so I would walk during my pregnancy. I was not a coach yet, and I had been following coaches, my coach and a lot of my friends that were on this healthy lifestyle track and feeling good about themselves, and things were changing in their world. Things were looking up, and they were actually, being able to help support their family as well. And for me, earning an income was like, I have to provide for my family. For me, it's everything. I've been that way since I was little. My mom was an entrepreneur and business owner, and I feel like that's my dream. That's always been my dream, to always be able to have my own source of income. And so just seeing these people, these women lead and thrive and feel good about themselves and look amazing, I knew I wanted that. I wanted a piece of that, but I didn't know how. And being pregnant, I felt like I was going back into that postpartum depression, and doing it before I even had her. And I knew that I did not want that with Addie because I wanted to feel connected. She was going to be our last, and she's our baby girl, so I was scared that I was going to fall into that. If I didn't stay healthy, if I didn't do what some of these leaders were doing and showing me that life is more than just having negative thoughts flood your head every day, and it's just not a fun place to be. And I hope that nobody is going through that at all right now. And if you are, I would love to talk to you. I'd love you to reach out and know that you're not alone, because I know what that feels like. And so until I was able to connect with Beachbody and my coach and really feel like I had somebody on my side after having Addison, my whole world changed. Like everything changed, you know? Not in an instant, it really didn't, but I knew that once I committed, that it was gonna be something that I wouldn't give up on, no matter what, because I feel like if something's failing, it's because I'm not doing something, and I needed that accountability. I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, if I don't have true partnership accountability, I tend to let myself slack. And if there's no deadline, it's easy if you're a procrastinator. It's really easy if you don't have a deadline or somebody holding you accountable to those deadlines to see if you are pushing for goals, if you're reaching things that you're really wanting to achieve. And in the beginning, I needed that support, and I knew Beachbody would give that to me. I just had been seeing so much success and so much support in the community that I knew that was going to be what my life needed if I wanted it to change. Every single year since having Sage, I felt like it was continuing to stay on a very slow, consistent track of progression, but it was very slow. And doing it myself and feeling gross about myself was like the worst, to have to try and, overcome success even. I don't know if anybody feels like that as well, but there's like a fear that we get for failing, for sure, but there's also a fear of success, and that takes preparation and time, because you can succeed and fail over and over again if you are not building your confidence and your self-esteem, and feeling good about what you're doing and how you are getting to your goals. So it's just really important for the community to keep you on track, to be pushing harder than you ever pushed. So without Beachbody, I would be living this small life. I'd be living inside my comfort zone, and since joining Beachbody, I've been able to live outside of that comfort zone and fire my own boss and be my own boss and live this life that I've dreamt for myself and I've created, because I show up just like all of the other girls that I had watched when I was so low, show up and make changes in their body and their mind and their soul, and every part of their life was changing, and so has mine. And sometimes that's hard for me to reflect back on and remember where I came from even just 2 years ago, 65 pounds heavier. That weight I was carrying and letting myself be exhausted all the time and make up excuses not to do the work. It just seems silly because, at that time, there's moments where I would fall off, or I would beat myself up because I hadn't lost, 5-10 pounds in one round of a program, but that wasn't my point. My point in my life was to continuously get better at what I wanted to do and create for myself, and that was this life of freedom, and to be my own boss and to work out when I want to work out and to feel better than I've ever felt. And that's always been my goal, and to do that I've had to show up every single day. So I may not have lost as much as I wanted in a short amount of times as I wanted, but that was all because I knew that my overall picture wasn't just a quick fix. It's always been about my entire life changing and becoming better than it was yesterday. And that's why I believe Beachbody is so